killing it. You were.
What's up, guys? Make a little story today on how the Most High works and the angels. You know what's funny? And it's not funny, but that's when like I always told you guys, I always knew I was special, like very special. I always knew I was not better than everybody, but I knew I had something in me that was very different from very young, right? So, remember I told ya that I used to go to church. My mom is a church-going lady, Christian, Pentecostal lady. Like, I told ya, like, you cannot curse around this lady. You cannot do crazy shit around this lady because this lady will check you. My mom is like that. So, I used to go to church from very young. By the time I was 16 is when I started asking questions in the church. Everything was good until I started asking the questions. I was, at 16 years old, I was already going to be the president of the young kids in the church. You know how they got presidents for the elderly, they got presidents for the, how you call that? For the young generation, whatever. And then they got like for the little kids type shit. Like you're supposed to be a role model to these kids. So I was already gonna go into that because how much I used to study and how much they used to see me like really be into it. Like it's funny because these people that go to church, they'll do things that you start thinking about them, but how he's doing that and he's supposed to be a church man. Like I used to see people come out of church and go into a store and buy lottery tickets. I'm young, you know, I'm 16 years old. So I'm thinking, damn, but how and then he's one of the leaders in the churches. So I'm like, how is he doing this? And he's supposed to be setting an example for me. I used to ask questions like this, but I never said nothing to nobody. I always kept that inside of me. When I was going to church, I was doing shit that I was supposed to. Whatever the book was said, I used to do it on my own. But what used to get me mad was when they couldn't answer questions. Like if I asked the pastor a question, he didn't know how to answer it. And if I was to answer it for him, he'll get mad. Like, he'll start talking about pride and all this shit. I'm just asking questions. I'm a kid. A question deserves an answer. If you can't answer it, I used to tell him, is this the answer? And he used to tell me, oh, you have to talk to the Lord to see what the Lord tells you, right? So, long story short, I started asking too many questions. All of a sudden, I had something wrong with me. They started saying that I had anger management problems, a whole bunch of shit. So now my mom's getting involved because, you know, I'm brought up a certain way, so she's feeling like I'm doing something wrong because the pastor's talking to her, put me in discipline, a whole bunch of shit, like if I was doing something bad just because I was asking questions. But long story short, that's why I left the church at the age almost hitting 17. Started hanging out with my friends, started doing a lot of shit. But before that, I used to be like, you know how they go and do prayers to people's houses and like pray over the house and pray over the people in the house. I used to do those things. Like it was like 5 or 6 of us young ones and 5 or 6 of the older one and 5 or 6 of the older ones. It used to be like a little 15 people group going to people's house to pray. So I remember one time I went to this apartment. The story's bugged out. I went to this apartment and it was the guy was like 25, 26, but he had a bachelor pad. Like his apartment was fleet. Like he had the carpet, he had the gray, gray, light gray walls. He had the big screen TV. He had the leather couch. Yo, it was a bachelor pad. The bedroom, he had just the bed with like a little end table, like a little table at the end with a lamp. It was basic, but he had the big screen TV with the rugs. It was official, bro. So I remember me praying. As soon as I walked into the apartment, I was like, wow, this is fire. I like this apartment. I told him, yo, your apartment is fire. I like it. I like the way you have everything set up. So long story short, we started praying, whatever. And I remember praying that day that Father, like I told the Most High, that Father, look, if I'm worthy, I would like when I grow up and become a man, like a grown man, I want an apartment like this. I remember saying that, and I told the Most High I would like something. It doesn't have to be like this, Father, but similar. I remember I told him that. God bless his apartment. Father bless him for everything he's accomplished, whatever, everything, like beautiful shit. But it was out of the heart I was talking. I even started crying. I remember started crying, and I was feeling the goosebumps. And long story short, the guy, out of everybody that went to pray in the apartment, he felt the Most High and the angels around me. He felt the goosebumps. He felt everything. He told me, like, yo, bro, out of everybody, there's something in you that's different. Like, you're very different. And I told, I was humble, whatever. I told him, thank you, but it's not me. It's the Most High and how he works. When I was really young, I was not like all the other kids. I was very wise in the words I used to use, and I was very wise in the people I used to hang around with. Right? So, fast forward that to when I was to 22 years old. 22 years old, I have a friend. I'm already a barber. I have a friend, and he tells me, listen, at that time I was 21, 22, 21. I already had my own business. I had a barber shop with 10 chairs already. So God has always blessed me. I've never been through shit before that. I was always good with money. Like, everything was good. It was plentiful. So the guy tells me, listen, I got a cousin coming from DR. I want you to meet her because I think you're gonna like her. And I was like, I don't know, bro, because I had just finished a relationship that was trash. And I'm gonna tell you a story about that after this, in another video. So I remember the girl got here, and we started talking, and at first I liked how she looked, but and I liked everything about her, but I was not really into it because of the relationship I had before her. So whatever, we started hanging out, we started talking, whatever. Long story short, 3 months later, me and the girl got married, like papers and all, married, church, everything, married. Boom. When we get married, and you know how they had the reception and all that shit, one of her aunts came with the lease and the keys to an apartment, right? And we didn't think nothing of it. We just looked at each other like, God, wow, it's beautiful. And she gave it to us. I remember not that same day, no bullshit. A week later, after honeymoon and everything, We came back, we went to DR, we came back, right? We go to the apartment, right? This is how I'm telling you, the Most High works in mysterious ways. Don't you know, look, I'm getting goosebumps. Don't you know that that same apartment that I went to pray in for that guy, the guy had moved to Florida and he left the apartment to his sister. And his sister was the one that gave us the key and the lease to the apartment. She passed it over to us. The same exact apartment. And how is it that I married the man's niece? This is like 6-7 years later after the prayers that I did in this guy's house. I marry his niece, I get his apartment. When I get the apartment, is exactly how he left it. The same way with everything, leather couch, the rugs, everything is exactly the same way. The lady used to just go and clean it up and like stay for the weekends type shit. So she really hardly never used the apartment. I got the apartment, I got a wife. Like the Most High works incredible, bro. And don't you know that when I met the man again, I went to Florida a couple of years later after we had our first kid and all that. I went to Florida to meet her uncle. He had I think it was a Christmas thing. The whole family was gonna go over there. And as soon as he saw me, he remembered me from that day that I went to his apartment to pray. And he was like, "Hold up, I know you from such and such." And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "Yeah, you was the one that was praying in the apartment when I really needed you guys. And you my niece's husband? Wow, the world is crazy. God is this, you know?" So it's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Prayer and how, look, I'm getting goosebumps. Prayer and how the prayer comes out works. Your prayer is very powerful. How else can I say that all that happened? It's the Most High, bro. Bro, for a family member to give you an apartment when you having to give nothing up, just you signing the lease and take over the apartment without you giving them nothing just because, that's the Most High, bro. And then that's just one of the things that's happened to me. There's more shit that's happened to me that if I was to talk about it, like, we will never finish talking about it. And it's all beautiful things, bro. Beautiful things. But it's because the Most High knows your heart. The Most High knows how faithful you are to Him. And this is important. You have to talk to the Most High and talk to Him genuinely. He will listen to you. He will listen to you. And the goosebumps is the way you know, bro. You feel it. You feel Him when you connected. I'm telling you, you have to start getting connected to the Most High. I'll make another video later. Have a good one, guys. I pray for you guys.